So, hey, I need you to stop scrolling for a second. Just stop because I need to say something that nobody in your life is probably saying to you right now. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You're tired, like deeply tired. Not just I need a nap tired. I'm talking about the kind of tired that lives in your chest. The kind where you wake up and you already feel behind. Where you keep waiting for something to just shift for the version of you that has it together to finally show up. And she hasn't shown up yet. Has she? Yeah, I know. Because I've been her. I've been you, and the thing nobody told me, the thing I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders and said, is this: no one is coming to save you. Not a relationship, not a sign from the universe, not the right mind, the Monday morning energy. Nobody. And that truth, once you actually let it in, it'll change everything. Okay, so let me ask you something, and I want you to actually think about it. Don't just skim past this. How long have you been waiting? Like, really? How long have you been saying, I'll start when I feel ready? I'll get my life together after this stressful season ends. I'll be consistent once things calm down. I just need to get through this week. Sis, that week was 6 months ago. And the week before that, you've been living in what I call the waiting place. And it's comfortable there. There's that thing nobody warns you about. The waiting place feels like rest. It looks like rest, but it's not rest. It's avoidance dressed up in cozy clothes. You're waiting for motivation to descend on you like some divine gift. You're waiting to feel like doing the thing. You're waiting for someone, a therapist, a partner, a mentor, God, your future self to come and just fix it. To make it easier, to give you the push, to hold your hand through it. And I get it. I genuinely do. Because when you've been through hard things, emotionally, mentally, in your family, in your past, relationships, whatever it is for you, waiting feels safe. Waiting means you don't have to risk disappointing yourself again. If you never fully try, you can never fully fail, right? But here's the thing nobody says out loud: waiting is its own kind of failing. It's slower, it's quieter, but it's just as real. And the life you want, the peace, the discipline, the glow up, the version of you that feels alive, she is not going to materialize while you're lying in bed watching other girls live their lives on a 4-inch screen. She's not. Can I be honest about something that kind of embarrassing? For a long time, and I mean a long time, I had this fantasy in the back of my head. Not like a fairy tale, not Prince Charming nonsense. I wasn't that naive. But this quiet belief that at some point, someone would see how much I was struggling and they would just help me. My mom would finally understand me and say the right thing. A therapist would say the magic sentence that just unlocked all my trauma and fixed it. A relationship would make me feel whole. A friend who would pull me out of whatever spiral I was in. I was waiting for an external hand to reach into my life and rearrange it for me. And some of that stuff did come. I've had a good therapist, I've had people love me well, but here's what I learned the hard way: other people can support your healing. They cannot do it for you. There's a difference. You can have the best therapist in the world and still spend the whole hour performing okayness. You can have a loving partner and still refuse to do the inner work because they'll make me happy anyway. You can have every resource, every tool, every supportive friend, and still not change because change is internal, babe. It comes from a decision you make, probably at like 2 a.m., probably not feeling cute about it, to stop outsourcing your own becoming. And I think a lot of us, especially us women who've been through emotional pain, who maybe grew up having to be strong, or who learned that love was conditional, we develop this deep craving to be rescued, not from bad guys, from ourselves, from our own patterns. our own fears, our own laziness, even. We want someone else to make discipline easy. We want someone to make healing not hurt. I understand that completely. But wanting it doesn't make it possible. And waiting for it is costing you for years. Alright, let's get real for a minute. Let's talk about what the waiting actually looks like. Because we like to think it's neutral, like we're just resting or going through something. But I want you to picture your last few weeks. How many mornings did you wake up with the genuine intention to have a good day? And then just didn't? How many times did you pick up your phone before you even said good morning to yourself? How many nights did you lie in bed exhausted but not sleeping? Just doom scrolling until your eyes burned. How many times did you skip the thing? The workout, the journaling, the healthy meals, the one errand, and tell yourself tomorrow. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm saying this because I've done every single one of those things and I know exactly what they feel like from the inside. They feel like nothing. That's the problem. Like actively rotting doesn't feel dramatic. It just feels like another Tuesday. You're not dramatic. You're not in crisis. You're just existing. Flat, uninspired, going through motions. And every day that passes like that quietly takes something from you. Not your worth, never your worth, but your momentum, your belief in yourself. That tiny voice that says, you can actually do this. Every time you choose to scroll over the thing you said you'd do, that voice gets a little quieter. And here's the disciplined truth that the feminine wellness space sometimes softens too much. Healing is not all candlelit baths and journaling prompts. Sometimes healing is getting up when you don't want to, sticking to a routine when it's boring, doing the unsexy, unglamorous, unposted parts of growth. The 6 a.m. wake ups when you're tired, the vegetables when you want the snacks, the no when every part of you wants to say yes because it's easier. That therapy session where you actually tell the truth. Soft discipline doesn't mean easy discipline, it means sustainable discipline. Soft is the intention behind it. Soft is the way you talk to yourself through it. But the doing, the showing up, that's not soft. That's a choice you make in your body every single day. Okay, let me paint some pictures. Tell me if any of these hit. You decide Sunday is a day, new week, new you, real this time. You make a Pinterest board, you write out a morning routine that starts at 6 a.m. and involves lemon water and journaling and a 30-minute workout and reading. You go to sleep excited and Monday morning comes. The alarms goes off. You turn it off. Not snooze, off. Then you lie there for 45 minutes on your phone and tell yourself the routine starts next Monday because you didn't set yourself up right this week. Or you've been in your healing era for, I don't know, 8 months? And by healing era, you mean you've listened to a lot of podcasts about healing. You bought two books about healing and read the first chapters of both. You resonate deeply with every attachment style explainer video. But you haven't actually changed how you respond when someone triggers you. You still spiral. You still over explain. You still go quiet and wait to be chased. And the information is there, the awareness is there. But awareness without action is just really educated suffering. Or here's one, you're feeling lost, uninspired, like you don't know who you are anymore. And instead of sitting with that discomfort and letting it guide you somewhere real, you find 17 different aesthetics on TikTok. One week you're going for the clean girl, next week it's the dark academia, then cottagecore, then Pilates princess. Because it's easier to adopt an aesthetic than to actually figure out what you value. I'm not dragging anyone. I'm describing myself from like 2 years ago. I'm describing the avoidance I wore really, really well. So here's where I want to shift because I don't want to leave you feeling like shit. That's not the point of this conversation. The point is this: the moment you stop waiting for someone to save you is the moment you become dangerous. Not dangerous in a scary way, dangerous in a she knows her power and she's using it way. Because you actually have everything you need. I know that sounds like a poster. I know it sounds like the kind of thing you've heard before, but I don't mean it in a you're perfect as you are dismissive way. I mean it in a very literal, practical sense. You have body that can move, a mind that can learn, time even if it's imperfect, and the capacity, even when it's depleted, to make a different choice. That's enough to start. Not a perfect circumstance, not a perfect mindset, not hitting rock bottom or reaching some dramatic turning point. Just today, just one choice. And here's what I want you to understand about self discipline through a feminine lens. It's not about becoming hard. It's not about punishing yourself into progress. It's about having enough love for yourself that you refuse to keep abandoning her. The girl who deserves the life you're imagining. She needs you to show up for her every day in a small ways. She needs you to go to bed at a decent hour because she deserves real rest. She needs you to eat food that actually nourishes her. She needs you to stop entertaining people and situations that drain her and call it healing or being understanding. She needs you to put the phone down and just be with her for a while. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a person to be tended to. And that's your job, not anyone else. And I want to close with something I've been sitting with for a while. There's this grief that comes with realizing no one is coming to save you. And I want to acknowledge that because it's real. When you finally stop waiting, there's a mourning period for the fantasy, for the easier version, for the relationship that was supposed to heal you, or the parent who was supposed to be different, or the life event that was supposed to change everything. Letting go of the fantasy of rescue is an actual loss, and you're allowed to grieve it. But on the other side of that grief, there's something so much better than rescue. There is authorship. There is the feeling of looking at your life, not a perfect life, not a flawless routine, not a completely healed psyche, but your life that you are actively building day by day, choice by choice, and knowing I did this not because someone fixed me, not because the circumstances were perfect, not because I waited long enough, because I decided. That's the version of you that's waiting, not waiting to be saved, waiting for you to stop waiting. So, what's one thing, just one you've been putting off? Not the whole routine, not the whole healing journey, not the whole life overhaul, but just one thing. Do it today. Not because you feel ready, not because it will be easy, but because you've loved yourself enough to stop leaving her behind. All right, that's it for today. I hope you like it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.